Hello friends, welcome to Nifty Technical and Option Chain Analysis. So today's date is 3rd of October and the time is almost 5:34. So let's see what has Nifty done. First of all, we'll see the chart and then we'll go to Nifty Option Chain to find out support and resistance. So as we can see over here, yesterday Nifty closed at 11,367 and today it opened at around 11,322. So almost 40 points of gap down. So over here we can see that when the Nifty started and it was falling till 5 minutes. But if we see yesterday's chart over here, we can see it was the first support for the Nifty at a price around 11,263. As you can see over here, I have drawn the horizontal line. So we can see over here, Nifty tried to break this support line two times in a 5 minutes of candle chart, but Nifty couldn't break it, and finally we can see the Nifty started the uptrend. But again we see over here that at strike price 11,370 there was a first resistance for the Nifty. So as we can see over here, Nifty started the uptrend from this candle and it was going up. And as we can see over here at almost 12:25, Nifty made high of 11,369, and over there we can see over here this was the resistance, and Nifty faced the resistance and started the downfall. So if we see the whole day, we can see the Nifty was moving in this particular range only. We can see this was the uptrend, and over here Nifty faced the resistance and again started the downtrend. And we can see again over here Nifty tries to go up, but it couldn't sustain, and finally Nifty closed at the strike price around 11,313. So as we can see, for the whole day Nifty was moving in this particular range. So the range was at 11,370 to 11,260. So now let's go to the option chain and we'll try to find out support and resistance for the 4th of October. So as the Nifty closed at 11,314, we'll start our study at strike price 11,300. First of all, we'll study the puts and we'll try to find out support, and then we'll study the calls to find out resistance for the 4th of October. So let's go to strike price 11,300. So at 11,300 we can see the net change is minus 20, and the change in open interest is almost 1.6 sorry 16 lakh contracts, and the cumulative open interest is almost 27 lakh contracts. So this is a very big number, and as it is a minus 20, it means the put writers or put seller sold the contracts at strike price 11,300 in a huge number. Now, what is the thinking of put writer or put seller? Put writer or put seller will sell the contract only when they feel that Nifty will sustain above above that strike price, which is 11,300. If we further go down at 11,200, we can see the change in open interest is almost 9.5 lakh contracts, and the cumulative open interest is almost 19 lakh contracts. And as the net change is minus 8, it means the call writers or call sellers sold the contracts. Even if we see at the strike price 11,250, we can see the put writers sold the contracts in a huge number. We can see the change in open interest is almost 1 million records, and the cumulative open interest almost 13 lakh records. So based on this three strike price, we can identify that 11,300 is going to be our first support for the 4th of October. And in case Nifty broke this, if Nifty break this support, then 11,200 is going to be our second strong support. Even if we see at further downside 11,100 strike price, we can see the change in open interest is almost 3.7 lakh contracts, and the cumulative open interest is almost 12 lakh contracts. Even if we see further down at strike price 11,000, we can see that put writers or put sellers sold this contracts at 11,000 strike price, which is we can see the cumulative open interest is almost 17 lakh contracts, and the change in open interest is almost 5.6 lakh contracts. So we can see the put writers or put sellers are selling the contracts in a variety of range. But even after studying this all this strike price, we can see the highest cumulative open interest is at strike price 11,300. So 11,300 is going to be our first support, and in case Nifty break this support, then 11,200 is going to be our second strong support, and in case if the intensity of selling is too high, then 11,100 is going to be our very strong support for the 4th of October. Now, if we see further down at 11,400 strike price, we can see the net change is plus 27, and the cumulative change in open interest is almost minus 5 lakh contracts, and the open interest is 5.7 lakh contracts. Now, what does it mean? It means the put writers or put seller who sold the contracts at this strike price 11,400, they unwind their position. Reason that now they think that Nifty can sustain below this strike price 11,400. That's why they unwind their position at strike price 11,400. That's why the net change is plus 27. So now let's go to the call side and we'll try to find out support for the 4th of October. So if we see at strike price 11,300, we can see that change in open interest is minus 5,000 contracts, and the cumulative open interest is 5.6 lakh contracts. Now, even if we see the net change is minus 85, it means the call buyers who bought the contracts at strike price 11,300, they unwind their position. Reason being, if we see today's chart, that Nifty was moving in a range only. So they thought that Nifty cannot go above this particular strike price. That's why they unwind their position at strike price 11,300. Now, if we see further down at 11,400 strike price, we can see the change in open interest is almost 1.5 million records, and the cumulative open interest is almost 19 lakh contracts. And as we can see, the net change is minus 64. It means the call writers or call sellers sold the contracts at strike price 350 strike price. So this is going to be our first strong resistance for the 4th of October. Now, if we see further down at 11,400, we can see the change in open interest is almost 1.3 million records, or we can say the 13 lakh records, and the cumulative open interest is almost 25 lakh records. So, is as the we can see at this particular two strike price, we can see the highest change in open interest. So, these are the two main resistance for the 4th of October, which are 11,350 and 11,400. Even if we see further down at strike price 11,500, we can see the change in open interest is almost 3.3 lakh contracts, and as the net change is minus 15, it means the call writers and call seller sold the contracts at this strike price. So after studying this puts and calls, if we want to bound the Nifty in a range for 4th of October, then according to my analysis, it is going to be 11,200, 11,100 to 11,400. Reason being, if we see that at 11,400, the cumulative open interest is increased as we compared to yesterday's cumulative open interest, and as we can see, the change in open interest is almost 13 lakh contracts. So we can say the good call writers or call seller sold the contracts in a very high number at this particular strike price 11,400. So 11,400 is going to be a very strong resistance for 4th of October, and it will be very difficult for Nifty to break this resistance. So it is just my analysis. Just do your own analysis before making any trade. So thank you friends for watching this video, and if you like it, then please subscribe our channel and hit the like button. Thank you friends.